Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. We have sound this time, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to disclaimer that before we get into anything we're going to talk about or play today. I'm very sorry. That was one of the best games I've ever game mastered, and you literally can't hear the amazing role-playing coming from Philbilly or Wiz in that episode, and I'm very sorry about that. But from here on out, you should be able to hear us loud and clear. So what are we doing today? Well, we're playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We are starting a new campaign based on a heavily modified, I'm going to show it to the camera even though the guys can't see it, very heavily modified Truck and Turtles supplement. I mean heavily modified because this was written, I think, in the early 90s. So I've had to tweak some stuff, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. And then we've got the Stump Gang, though. They're here. They're ready to go. First, we have the original Stump Gang mutant. That's Wizard's Respite, our unofficial partner in TTRPGs, playing Tex the Armadillo.
Howdy, folks.
See? You can hear him. You can hear him. All right? That's the key. And then right next to him, last but certainly not least, our Buildmaster General, Philbilly 330, playing Roswell the Alligator.
What's going on?
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. So we're starting a new campaign. Let's recap. Another thing I do want to just disclaimer. If you can hear from my voice yet again, I don't know. I've got the bubonic plague. I'm just walking around with it. So we're going to do the best we can. You also have noticed that Philbilly down there is doing quite a bit of coughing as well. So
Yeah.
But this probably won't be nearly as long as the last stream. But we're going to do the best we can because we weren't going to miss this. This game's too much fun. So, also, a couple of homebrews. We're going to get into that in a second. Advancement. I'm doing something different than leveling with advancement. I'm allowing the players to make upgrades to their character sheet instead of just straight leveling so that they can feel like they're getting something every go. Plus, I've homebrewed in a way to get new skills because there's no way that I can tell in the Platinum system. If you're out there and you're listening and you're a Platinum guy and you know a way, but I've read this book back to front and I cannot find a way to buy new skills. So we're going to be also buying new skills with that. We're also playing with control because I need a stat check every once in a while. So the more control they have over the situation, the higher the control number is. That number is added to their stat score when they are rolling their percentile die for the stat system, much in the same way Platinum skills work. Those are our two big homebrews for today. Recap. The Stump Gang. They are comprised of 3 orphan girls that were kidnapped by an evil General Braddock, a leader of a private military force called the Black Hats. Braddock adopted them and then experimented on them, which gave them powers if they come in contact with mutagen instead of mutating. Stella can kind of has like a checkmate sort of a brain when she takes it. She becomes hyper intelligent and able to predict the future, kind of. Aubrey becomes basically like miniature Hulk. And then we don't know what Lila does yet. Well, I do, but they don't. Now, just
She brings me food.
yes, for ages, Stella is 12, Aubrey is 10, I think I put her at, and Lila is 8. Okay, that's how old the girls are. What Roswell was talking about is Roswell is an alligator and they all inhabited this swamp in a national park. Okay, the orphans hid out there after escaping from Braddock. They met Tex the Armadillo first. They met him after he got mutated because this particular park had a reservoir where mutagen from Braddock's experiments would eventually flow downstream into it. So himself and a coyote got mutated drinking from it. The coyote is scary beyond all reason and just referred to as the Fanged One. Tex the Armadillo was found by the girls as he mutated, became an immediate kind of member of their impromptu family. He also scavenged up a .357 Magnum, which he keeps on his side, and a cowboy hat, and is basically that he's a cowboy. He's only 4 feet tall. He's not a giant armadillo. He's a 4 feet tall armadillo with a giant revolver and a cowboy hat. Now, then we enter in Roswell the alligator. Roswell the alligator is the biggest alligator that has ever been seen. He lived in the swamp portion of this, and had always intended on eating the Stump girls and their armadillo friend. However, he kept being fed every time he'd come around to hunt them. Lila, the youngest one, would give him some of their food, unbeknownst to the rest of the Stump Gang. He then found his way to the mystical pond and mutated, finding a Zune that was full of insane conspiracy theory podcasts. While his intelligence grew from the mutation, he basically learned all of his speaking and intelligence from insane conspiracy theory podcasts. He also generally found a kind of a sense of, I guess, friendship with Lila as he built more emotions as he grew up. So, fast forward a little bit, he helped save them. When General Braddock finally found them, they had to make a daring escape down a river. It involved fan boats and a chase, and it was amazing. They found their way to a train. We found out Aubrey's power when she helped knock General Braddock off the train in an epic final battle where Tex was standing back shooting while General Braddock, who is like Sam Elliott on all the steroids, was fighting Roswell, and basically they were just hacking pieces of each other off. So Roswell's very hurt. He almost died, but Aubrey made the save, knocked him off the train, potentially to his death, and they managed to escape. The one piece of information they got as they ran away was that on the park ranger they had kind of befriended. He had told them that they couldn't stay. He warned them of Braddock's coming and told them to find his cousin, Bert McClusky. And to do that, they would have to travel east towards New York. And that was where we left them, barely surviving their final battle. Did I miss anything important, guys?
Yeah. No, I think they got most of it.
Okay. All right, so I do want to say, anybody who's watching this, if you're watching this and anything goes wrong with the sound, please type in the chat. Please. I am 99.9% positive you can hear them because I'm watching the bar right now and watching it dance every time they talk. So I'm very much hoping that you can hear them. If you can't, then there is something wrong that I don't know what it is. Nonetheless, please let me know if there's anything wrong with this. So, before we get into this, we need to do advancement. I just kind of went over that with Wiz. I'm going to do that with both of you guys now here, just all the way from the top. So, in normal Ninja Turtles, it is a leveling-based system. You gather experience points by doing stuff in-game. Once you level, all of your skills have a specific amount of percentage they go up by. You get an extra hit dice, and whatever your combat skill increases its bonus to whatever you're fighting with. I hate this system because A, there is no way for you, the players, in any way, shape, or form to get new skills. And Roswell is basically like a baby bird who has just been released into the world. It would be very unfair for him to never be able to learn skills, ever. So, here's how we're going to do this. You will get advancement tokens at the end or beginning of every session. Right now I'm giving you guys both 3 to play with. You can save them or you can spend them any way you want. However, here's how you spend them. You can level up a skill by the next level of percentage, something that you already have. So as if it was leveling. You can get your next level of hit dice, which is another D6 added to your hit points. Or, this is the slightly more complicated one, you can purchase a new skill. You must in-game give me a reason that you would be learning this skill and actually role play through it. If you have sufficiently met that requirement, you can spend 1 token to get half of the base skill level to start, because it should be harder to learn new skills from scratch. So, say you want to get Prowl and you don't have Prowl as the skill. The base level of Prowl is 46%. If you buy Prowl, your first token will get you 23%. Your second token will get you up to the 46% base level, and then you can start leveling it up from there. You can also, if you have a combat skill, buy the next level of bonuses for that combat skill. So if everybody started at level 1, so you can buy up level 2's combat bonuses, whatever that is, depending on if you have hand-to-hand, basic, expert, martial arts, or whatever. All of that being said, you cannot double up on anything until you have spent at least 5 tokens. 5 tokens before you can start doubling up on anything. And then the next one will be 5 again. So if you put a point into hit dice, you can't put the next point into hit dice until you've leveled up 5 different things. So there is going to be some more build aspects to this than just a leveling system, but at the same time, you can't just take one thing and power it up. Does that all make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to spend those points?
That's good. I'm trying to figure that out right now.
I think I would either like to upgrade my dagger skill or pick up hand-to-hand.
Okay, so here's the
Because
thing.
doesn't the way hand-to-hand work is it adds even more actions?
Yeah, so hand-to-hand might be the way to go. Because there is a trick that I haven't quite figured out on this yet. And that is with the proficiency in weaponry, it doesn't really give you, like... Hold on. Let me find the proficiencies. I'm having a hard time finding.
I was actually going to think for that myself.
Because they're static, but they give you a very static bonus. There we go. Okay, so like weapon proficiency, knife, combat skills, combat skill with all types of knives, bonus +1 to strike and parry at level 1, +1 to strike and parry at level 2, +1 to strike and parry at level 5, and then +1 to strike and parry at level 6, and again at level 9. So like leveling up to 2 is going to give you another +1, but like after that, is it really worth it to put those points in that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't have quite a better way to do the weapon proficiencies. And maybe at some point when I am messing with the homebrew, I will. But if I gave a static +1 every level, it would get OP really fast. Like you would, I mean, at level 6, you've got a +6 plus your other bonuses. You know what I mean? It would get pretty ridiculous. So you're well within your rights to do that, if you want.
Trying to figure out how hand-to-hand works.
So hand-to-hand is tricky because the actual bonuses that it gives you are, if you're looking at the standard book, the PDF of the book, they're on page 61.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
So what would happen is if you had the skill, like, to level it up, you get you get the bonuses at level 1, then to level it up, you get the bonuses at level 2, yada, yada, yada. I am going to say hand-to-hand basic or expert or martial arts will require a lot of role-playing to purchase them, but 1 token will give you level 1 bonuses. I'm not going to make you do the half and half. Okay.
So what would you take? Would you take, like... Because I see there's, like...
So
there's boxing, there's...
You can get boxing. That's a skill. Boxing is a normal skill though, so I'm going to give you when you're taking the skills that aren't percentage based, you'll get half whatever the stat upgrades are, and then the other half when you put the other token in. So when you're learning it, you'll get half, and then you'll get the other half once you've mastered it.
So what are the other hand-to-hand combat skills? You have boxing...
Oh, no. The hand-to-hand combat skills are specifically hand-to-hand basic, hand-to-hand expert, hand-to-hand assassin, hand-to-hand martial arts, and hand-to-hand ninjutsu.
Yeah, but when you look at those, they don't tell you, like,
you have to go to
what
page...
damage... die or anything?
You have to go to page 61.
Oh, I'm on 21.
Which is the right one to see all the skills, but for some reason they put all the hand-to-hand combat bonuses in the combat section.
I see.
I remember this was our biggest gripe about, I think, this book.
Yeah, it's a very hard book to navigate. It is not necessarily as intuitive as you would hope it would be.
Fun game, though. Fun game.
Very fun game. I mean, it was written in the fucking 80s, too. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But, like I said, like, learning those will require a lot of... If you're getting more than hand-to-hand basic, will require a lot of in-game role-playing. But I'll only make you spend 1 token to get level 1.
So level 1 would get me +2 to roll with punch.
Or pull punch, which is pretty weak. That's why I'm not doing the half thing, because it's a pretty weak starting bonus. But at level 3, you'll get another 2 attacks to melee if you level.
What is your damage with that?
It's the same.
1d6 damage.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll role play through that then.
Well, honestly,
Okay.
with hand-to-hand basic, I would give that to you. I think you've done enough in-game to get hand-to-hand basic.
Okay.
In fairness, I don't think that, like, so you would add the +2 pull or roll with punch to your character sheet, add the skill hand to hand, and you still have 2 advancement tokens.
I think I'll save those.
No problemo. What about you, Wiz?
I am probably going to go with Pickpocket for at least one of my tokens. I'm leveling that up.
Okay, so you already had it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right, let me find the percentage for ya. All right, Pickpocket goes up by 5%.
Okay.
Also, mark next to it that you can't level it up again until... Just find a way to mark for yourself so you can't level that up again until you've leveled up 4 other things. Are you doing any other leveling?
I think I'm gonna put 1 into the Prowl. Also,
I believe Prowl's 8%. Yeah, Prowl's 8%.
Okay. And I'll put, and then I'm gonna save my last token.
Okay, sounds good. All right. With that said, we start off. We're basically in the train car that you guys have hopped on. It's just an open train car, a storage car that's being transported from one point to another on a large freighter train. Basically, Tex and Aubrey bring Roswell into the train car, just covered in his own blood. I'm pretty, like, you were almost dead, right? Like, I'm not overestimating that, correct?
Me?
Yeah.
I had all my SDC broken and was down to 30 health, which is low for me.
Yeah, 30's not that bad. But yeah, you're pretty messed up. So they kind of drag you into the train car. You can kind of walk there on your own volition, but they definitely help you. Aubrey's powers wear off the green veins that have been sticking out of her face from ingesting the mutagen, kind of like shrink away. And then she kind of falls into a corner, kind of breathing hard. At that point, so you guys are on the train. Do you guys want to ask them anything or anything whatsoever?
Well, how many of y'all are gods? I look right at Stella when I'm saying this.
There's only one.
Lila smiles like, thank you. You see Stella goes, we're not gods. I can't stress that enough. Braddock,
I just saw you do some miraculous stuff there, little lady. What kind of supernatural whatchamacallit do you have here? I thought I was the strangest thing up until yesterday, and then we met this guy, and now you're jump kicking big old mustache guy off the whole train.
At that point, Aubrey's like, yeah, how far do you think he got? And then Stella ignores that and continues. She goes, look, I'm really sorry we didn't tell you, but I'll come clean. I think we're all family here. And then Aubrey goes, even the giant walking teeth? And then Lila goes, he is definitely family. She's like, all right. Stella goes, Braddock kidnapped us. Well, adopted us. He basically kidnapped us legally. All three of us are orphans. We're not even of the same parents. Not that we know of anyway. We grew up in the orphanage. And he eventually came around and adopted us. He would adopt many kids over the course of... He'd come in a lot, and it kind of became a thing. Like, everybody wanted to get adopted by him because we all thought he was rich. We all thought he was, going to provide a nice life for all of us. That's not what happened. He was searching for what he called mutagen-resistant humans. I'm not 100% positive what it is, what that means, but I know this. The three of us are what he considers mutagen-resistant human beings. Everybody else that he applied this stuff to mutated into creatures, monsters, animals like yourselves. We didn't. Instead, it gave us the powers that you see when we ingest it. We don't know what it's doing to us. We don't know if it's healthy. We try not to do it because, in fairness, it kind of hurts. But he was really happy and really excited, but we knew that it was just more experiments, so we used our powers to escape. And we found the park, we found the stump, and that's where we hid until you came along. And that's why Braddock wants us so much.
I'll tell you, this all sounds like everything I've ever heard coming down from all those three-letter organizations.
Lila looks at you like it completely goes over her head and goes, No, it's not 3 letters. They're called the Black Hats. It's like 8, 9, I think.
So,
Goddess, your naivety is astounding.
She looks at you and goes, thank you. Aubrey like shakes her head and goes, he was calling you an idiot.
So these black hats, they work for the government. Government's in on this.
Ew.
Yes, everybody does. Don't you know that? She goes, sometimes not. I don't know where Braddock got all his money and power, but he uses it to cultivate the Black Hats. They're his private army. He does jobs for all sorts of people. I think, like I said, we spent a lot of time in our rooms. She puts that in quotations. And then, or being experimented on. It wasn't pleasant for us.
So you're saying that they're no good guns for hire. Can't stand that.
That is, yes, that is that's perfect delivery. She nods, yes. And it's at this point that you guys hear a helicopter go over past. Probably the same helicopter that carried Braddock onto the train. And then you hear some honking from the train, and then the train starts to squeal and come to a stop. Lila's like, "Oh no, I'm scared." Stella's like, it'll be okay. Aubrey's like, "It can't be." She kind of pulls herself up, kind of like shakes herself off from the exhaustion, picks up Horsey. For anybody watching this in the back end or watching this now, Horsey is a miniature Louisville Slugger that's just covered in like unicorn stickers that Aubrey uses to fight. She stands up, grabs Horsey, she's like, "I thought we took him out, but I guess it's gonna be round 2.
You got it in you, little man.
I'm good. Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Remember, I called you like a freak because I don't consider myself.
I pull out my gun and you better believe it. And I go over to the car door. So is it just wide open, like the car that we're on, or?
No, the car is closed. It's closed, but it's got like wooden slats.
Okay, I'd like to try to see if I can't like peek out and see what I got going, like if there's anything I can see going on.
Okay. All right. No roll for this. You easily peek through the slats. Basically, the train has stopped so that your car is on a street. So, like, where the train tracks would be crossing a road, your car is basically crossing the road, but stopped. And then, basically, you see, like, 3 trucks. Their floodlights turn on immediately, which kind of almost blind you. So this is definitely where they wanted to put the stop. You also hear the helicopter hovering above it.
I don't see too many options other than fighting our way out of this, but the big fella back there has been, well, he's seen better days, if you know what I mean.
Aubrey looks at Stella and goes, You're gonna have to give me another hit." She's like, "No, you've had too much. We don't know what it'll do to you in a day." At that point, you guys are interrupted. You hear from outside, "We are going to need you to exit the vehicle with your hands up and your weapons disarmed. As soon as possible. You have the count of 5 until we start firing."
Are there any like hatches in the floor of this train car or anything? Maybe. What's the floor made out of?
I'm gonna say just like a normal kind of like aluminum base.
Okay, any like maybe maintenance access panels or anything?
You know what? I am gonna bop the control. The controls at 20 because you guys are definitely not in control of the situation right now. But I'll give you a IQ control check.
Both of us, or just?
Well, you're looking out the slats to survey the situation and drawing your weapon, ready to Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid this thing. So I'm gonna say just Phil for now.
So what's that put my difficulty at? I rolled a 13.
Your difficulty is whatever your stat is plus 20. So what's your IQ?
My IQ is 11 plus 13, then.
No,
20.
Not the roll.
Oh.
Okay, so you're doing it like a skill check, right? So you're trying to roll under a number on the percentile dice.
1 percentile.
Right. Your control check, the control of the scene, which is 20, always adds to whatever stat I'm asking for. So if it's IQ and you have an 11 and the control is a 20, it's 31.
I rolled a 6.
Wow.
Oh,
Good roll.
job.
You actually do find a locked maintenance hatch in the center.
Is there? I want to attempt to try to pry it up.
Okay, all right. As you're about to do that, you start hearing horns. And then you just hear somebody yelling outside, like, what is that guy doing? Oh, jump! And then, boom! You just hear this huge smash, crash from the outside. You hear a couple of, like, explosions. And then you hear the helicopter kind of, like, pass overhead and then slam somewhere and explode on the other side.
What the hell was that?
That was fortunate.
Yeah, it all happens in like less than a minute.
I take another peek outside to see if the coast is clear.
All right, you peek outside. The lights are gone, but it is still night. So give me an IQ control check.
IQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled a 92. I mean,
All right, you can't see shit. Yeah,
No, I can't.
like nothing. You see figures. There's some fire off in the distance. The shadows are playing hell. You're pretty sure one of the trucks has been overturned. You're not exactly sure how. You see this kind of big black mass in the center of the road. You're not quite understanding. You know the helicopter's gone. But
Did
then
the train shake?
the train shook with the explosions, but it wasn't hit. So like, it shook with the shock waves, but it definitely wasn't struck by anything. And then you hear a whistling, and he's just whistling Johnny Cash. Specifically, I'm gonna break this rusted cage.
whoever
Just
that might happen to be has an excellent taste in music, but that doesn't mean I trust him. I look over. Is Roswell still messing with the hatch?
I think I'm gonna still try to rip it open.
That would be fine. I'm gonna say you definitely stopped when all the explosions started from distraction, but now that like it's just whistling, you're like, all right, fuck this, I'm out of here. So go ahead and give me. We're gonna do strength control.
What's the control 20 still?
Yeah.
So I gotta roll under a 39. I rolled a 59, so no.
You pull. It bends a little bit, but it's above your abilities to break at this time.
Hold on there, fella. I might be able to give you a hand. I run over and pull out my lockpicks, because that was one of the skills I took.
Oh, nice.
Always remember your lockpicks. Alright, so my percentage on picking locks is 35.
Okay.
And I rolled an 80. Jesus.
Good start to the game. Good start to the game. You guys are gonna fucking die tonight. All right. You guys should cross your fingers and hope for no combat at this point. You start lockpicking. It's not going well. Maybe you're stressed out. You've been up for a long time. This has been a very trying 36 hours for everybody involved. And then all of a sudden you hear a voice from outside. Yo there! You guys okay in there? I'm pretty sure this is the right train. I'm pretty sure you guys are the right people. Otherwise, I messed up my truck and shot all these guys for no reason, which would suck. It'd suck hard.
And who might you be there?
Name's McClusky, Bert McClusky. I think you guys met my cousin, Park Ranger.
Oh. I go over and open the door. I go. Your cousin's to the ranger.
Yeah, McNally.
Yeah, excellent lawman he is.
I'm like, stand back, goddess. This is way too convenient.
Lila's like, I think it's gonna be okay, but Stella's actually with you. She's like, I don't know. This does seem.
That's what they want us to think.
Stella's like, that might be what they want us to think. He goes, look, I know you guys have been through the ringer, but he filled me in. I've seen a lot of stuff, and look, I'm going to say this. You don't have a whole lot of options because the conductor's going to start that train soon, or he's going to come back here, and I have something real hard against shooting civilians in the eyes just because, they saw something. So maybe we could get out of here together, and you could just give me a try trusting me.
Look over at Stella. We were in an awful lot of trouble. Any help to get out of here is pretty good. Better than the giant mustache man and his black hats.
Aubrey just kind of she's holding her back. She's like, I say we take him out. Lila's like, Aubrey, stop it. So it's like, okay, all right, we can't. This was the guy we're supposed to meet. Nobody could know this guy's name other than Ranger McNally. Let's give it a try. And then she looks at Roswell, and she goes, look, I know you're new to our little group, and you weren't privy to the information, but this was the person we were heading to meet in the first place.
I say it's up to Goddess. I'll follow her.
Stella does this eye roll and then looks at Lila, and Lila's like, yeah, let's talk to him. And then she just kind of plods forward and swings the sliding door open. You guys just see an older gentleman, late 40s, maybe early 50s. He's got gray hair, but he's wearing he's wearing a ball cap. It's a New York Yankees ball cap. He's got flannel button up with kind of like a trucker vest over it, open. He just has jeans, a nice big belt buckle. He looks like your average trucker. No facial hair though. He's just standing there. However, he does have an M16 in his hand, not pointed at you, just slung over his shoulder. You guys also surveyed the territory. You see the trucks that were waiting for you were overturned by his truck, which is this massive, double-wide semi that's bright blue with huge 2 stacks. It's still running. No trailer on it. It looks like, you guys would know that, but no trailer on it. But a big cab, like one of those that has a sleeper in it. And you're not exactly sure how it through 2 armored trucks when it hit them, when it sideswiped them, but it's only minorly dented, whereas the trucks are in the ditch, burning. And yeah, there's a couple of bodies around. But yeah, he's just standing there. It's like, yo, Bert McClusky, how you guys doing?
We've seen better days, Bert. I'm Tech.
Both of you give me, we're going to bump the control up real quick to a 30, but both of you give me IQ checks with the plus 30.
Yeah, I got a 17.
Nice.
I got an 8.
Nice. You guys are smart today. Both of you are immediately jarred by the fact that one of you is a giant alligator, the other one is a giant armadillo, who are both talking and holding weapons, and he is not even remotely surprised. Not that he's not surprised. He's not even jarred by it.
I look at Lila, but not quietly, and I'm like, I don't know if I trust him. He's standing there talking to that little freak, and he's not even worried about it.
She touches your hand and goes, we've really got to talk to you about calling him a freak. But hey, if you don't trust anybody, you don't make any friends.
Where else have you seen an armadillo that walks around on 2 hands or 2 legs and carries a gun?
Right in front of you.
Lila goes, yeah, but where else have you seen Aubrey? She's a freak. We don't call her a freak. Aubrey's like, hey! At that point, Stella goes, shh, 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 and then, like, walks forward. And goes, hi, Bert. Can you prove that you're Bert? And he goes, I mean, I could show you guys a driver's license, but let's face it, that could be forged. Especially with the people who are following you around. You guys got yourself into some real trouble, huh?
We're looking to get right out of it. I'm not trusting that they don't have more folks coming. The last time we squared off against them, they seem to always come back at something.
Well,
we get going out of this place quiet like?
Definitely. I got room for you guys in my truck, and we can tend to your alligator there. Though I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting the alligator. Cousin McNally never told me about the alligator.
He's a new addition to our happy family.
All right. Well, file on in, everybody. So he says, file on into the big blue ox, and we'll get out of here.
I look at Lila, I'm like, he said happy family in the most non-happy way I've ever heard. I don't know.
She's like, you guys will be best friends. By the end of the week, I'm sure. Then she pulls out a Snickers bar and goes, your blood sugar's low. Yeah.
Thank you, goddess.
You guys get into the cab. He kind of pulls out and drives away. His truck nonchalantly passes like tons of cop cars passing that were obviously called from the conductor to deal with whatever insanity was going on. But they don't even stop. Just a normal big trucker out on the road. And what he says, he shifts. You guys go back. He tells Stella where to find the bandages. She starts fixing you up. And so Roswell, you end up passing out. Aubrey ends up passing out just from sheer exhaustion from the fight. Even Tex, you kind of pass out a little bit too. And we're going to skip forward a little bit as you guys kind of like travel all the way to New York City with Bert McClusky. You find that you can trust him, at least for now. He doesn't tell you a lot about his backstory, but he has ample time in the trip from the train to New York City to screw you over, to call Braddock, to turn you into the authorities, and doesn't. I am going to say this. It is a long trip. I want to fast forward a little bit because I don't want to do a road trip twice, basically, and this entire mission is a road trip. That being said, is there anything you want to specifically hone in on, maybe trying to find out about him while you're headed back? Any questions you want to ask specifically?
Are we fast forward? Are we role playing it out, or are we fast forwarding through it?
We're just fast forwarding through it. So you just tell me, and then I'll just tell you what he answers if he answers.
I want to know why he isn't so surprised to see a 4-foot armadillo and a crocodile man.
Okay, so this is interesting. First, he tells you he has a past, and he's been doing a lot of stuff for a long time, and you aren't the craziest thing he's ever seen. Which you get that. Even though it's kind of a vague response, a vague answer, you kind of get the feeling that Bert McClusky is not just a dude who drives truck. Like, just from the M16 that he showed up with, and the fact that he took out 2, armored trucks and a fucking helicopter in less than a minute. So there's more to Bert McClusky than meets the eye, but he's definitely been around the block, so he's probably definitely seen weirder. But he also tells you that in the last, year or two, sightings of mutant animals, such as yourselves, have started to become commonplace. Like, there are Instagram posts about them, Twitter posts about them. There are experts who are like, they're definitely not real. There are experts who are like, they're definitely real. And, so they've almost, he doesn't say this specifically to you, but think of it more of akin to if you lived in a world with superheroes.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd get used to them because they're weird and all the way around there, but you wouldn't necessarily, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like early superhero stuff is basically what it is. They're around. People are, it's kind of like the worst kept secret. Like, nobody wants to admit they're real, but they're definitely real. There's too much evidence to the contrary. So there are mutant animals running around right now. So he's like, and he's just a more enlightened person that doesn't think that you should be judged for being giant animals.
I want to pry a little more out of him and basically ask, like, how did two brothers end up so different? One's just a goofy park ranger and the other's a badass who just took out 2 armored vehicles, drives a big rig, and carries an M16. Like, what's his... Why is he seem to be so trained, or whatever it might be?
Well, he says that McNally is not his brother, it's his cousin. And
Oh,
that
cousin.
McNally's family, he knew him a lot when he was younger. They moved away to this part of the world. He lives more in New York and the eastern seaboard. So they saw each other basically at family reunions and get-togethers around Christmas time sort of situation. That and Bert McClusky joined the Army and also has been involved in the CIA and other things like that. He is open with that with you guys. He is an ex-CIA agent for the United States government. So he kind of got into that early. He was recruited out of the Army. He's open about that kind of thing. And he goes, McNally just went a different way. Though he finds it interesting that both him and McNally did find a way to work in justice, kind of. So there's some sort of similarity. But that's how McNally is just a park ranger, whereas I'm prepared for things.
With that answer, I would have to then ask how deep his clearance was and his knowledge about many 3-letter agencies and the conspiracies behind them. I'd be asking about Area 51. I'd be asking about the Kennedy assassination. I'd be asking everything.
Bert would definitely use this time to mess with you. Like, he would never like give you he would always give you an answer like definitely not, but then also like leave it open. Like, he'd be like, "Oh, them. Yeah, I don't know about them. They don't technically exist." Or like, "Oh, Area 51." Or like when you ask about Area 51, he'd be like, "Area 51's nothing. You should see Area 65." Like, that's how he would mess with you. He would just, anytime you ask him a question, he'd divert it to like something else where he'd just kind of like make you think, "Oh no, there's even more levels." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be like, I knew it.
yeah, exactly.
I knew it went deeper.
He's also nice to the girls, that you guys can see that he is awkward around them. He's not necessarily a natural like parental figure. He's definitely been a lone wolf most of his life. You get that idea. Like, he has a much better time with the camaraderie between him and the two of you than necessarily whatever the relationship would be with him and the girls. Nonetheless, you guys make it back to New York, and he basically owns an entire warehouse there, which you guys wouldn't know this, but costs an insane amount of money. When he pulls the truck into the warehouse, the entire first 2 floors of the warehouse is converted into a giant garage that not just holds the big blue box, but also a number of really nice cars, like some classic, some newer and more modern, just sitting there for driving around. He also has a pretty sophisticated like workbench and setup for working on all these things, so you guys can tell that he's probably pretty handy about maintaining and fixing all these things. After you've seen the bat layer, he takes you basically up the stairs to what he considers his apartment, which he's hollowed out the third and final floor, into just this big, massive living space that he's made into his own. It's really large and really well looking. It definitely has the bachelor pad feel. There is no real pictures hanging. It's very sterile environment. The couches are leather and like the kind of stuff that's easy to clean. You can tell that he doesn't necessarily spend a ton of time here. He has big screen TVs. He has a few bedrooms, plenty of bedrooms to accommodate everybody. But the crazy thing is, you realize that the Stump girls have never even seen, well, especially Lila has never seen a TV. Like, she walks in, she sees the monitor, and she goes, "What is that?" Stella's like, she was really young when she was adopted. She'd never got to see one. So she goes, "That's a TV." And you just see, like, Lila turn it on, and then you just see the slow, creeping, ear-to-ear smile, like, come up, like, from nothing to, like, yes. As there's finally entertainment there. And then she plops down and watches it. So you guys are going to spend a couple of days here. What would you guys do in those days? Roswell, you'd heal up.
Okay, I would also have to ask the goddess if New York has salami sandwiches that I've grown so accustomed to.
Definitely has salami sandwiches, and she's very happy to get you some. You guys, I am going to say this. Neither one of you are particular fans of New York City. It is, comparatively to your park, it is a fucking nightmare. There's people everywhere. Like, basically, the only way to get out of the warehouse is to go up to the rooftops, and neither one of you are the Ninja Turtles, so jumping around on rooftops is not exactly your forte. And it's just not super pleasant to be in, really, for you guys. There's just tons of people, tons of noise, no, like, places to swim for Roswell. You know what I mean? It's not what you guys are used to at all.
Okay.
The Hudson River's too dirty for Roswell.
You find a lot of mutants in there. There's a whole civilization in the Hudson River.
Yeah, there's fish with 4 eyes.
Yeah, you could be their god.
I'm like, I ain't eating that.
So anything special you guys want to do in this couple of days while you're healing up and getting used to the city?
In his garage, I'll be taking a look, does he have a motorcycle?
Yeah.
I would definitely be playing with the motorcycle.
Do you have motorcycle ability?
I do. A cowboy needs to have a trusty steed.
Nice.
On a steel horse, Tex rides.
Yeah, you definitely have a motorcycle, and he's actually okay with you guys using it. He's okay with you guys walking around, really. Anytime you guys are worried about going outside, he's like, "Dude, it's New York City. There's way worse things here than the two of you. Like, way worse things." He just basically advises you, like, wear big coats and big hats and don't make eye contact, and nobody's gonna look at you because they've got somewhere to be. So you're definitely allowed to go out and drive on the motorcycle a couple of times, without a doubt. It is a different experience, though. I'm going to actually ask you to give me a motorcycle skill roll real quick. Not just for riding the motorcycle, but for figuring out traffic. Because this is not something you've had to deal with before.
Yeah. Let me find my skill for that one. I didn't think I was going to get a chance to use this. When I picked it out and we started playing, I was like, oh, well, that's fine. Motorcycle's cool, but now...
honestly, I didn't think either one of you had driving skills. This might come really in handy in the next few sessions.
I don't think with the way I rolled my character that was even an option.
No, not for you. Honestly, you were the biggest reason I wanted to homebrew the skills, because, your character was just he gets extra attacks and he knows 2 things. And that's it for the rest of the game? Jesus.
He's brutal in a fight,
Yeah.
But, yeah. Motorcycles, actually, I got a 3, and my percentage was 60.
You rock this motorcycle, man. Not bad. We're actually gonna say it's a chopper too. I think
Oh,
Bert, I
yes.
think Bert would own a chopper. So he's got the little wheel on the front, the big ass wheel on the back. Harley sort of thing where you're like laid back on it and the fucking handlebars are bigger than you. It's hard for you to reach the handlebars, honestly. Like that's how big this fucking thing is.
You
But-
look under the handlebars.
You really look like a little person driving this thing. But
Cool.
but at this point, you moving through the streets, like you manage to pick up traffic really fast. Like it just comes simple to you. And this is the first time when you're on this motorcycle that you're like, maybe I could get used to city life. Maybe this isn't so bad. Like it kind of falls into place. You have a deep sense of justice, and for whatever reason, that transfers into I know how to not speed. So basically, like you're able to not get pulled over, not drive in the wrong lane, and yeah, you see the city, and there are some really beautiful, awesome things about it. There's a lot of life here. Whereas in the forest there was life in a different way. This is a very like bustly, hustly sort of place, and it's a lot of fun for you. Roswell, is there anything you're doing these 2 days specifically?
TV for the first time at that.
Well,
Yeah,
you could also ask Bert to show you hand-to-hand basic too. I mean, you've already learned it. I said you could, but
Yeah, since he's a military guy, I think I would do that because I'd be pretty miserable here. I feel like.
yeah, this is not Roswell's bag, not at all. But he actually helps you. Once you get talking to him, you start to trust him a little bit more. He actually starts to show you some stuff, and you're happy for the experience because the only really way you've known how to fight is with your teeth, and then when you mutated, the teeth you made yourself. So this is really useful information. So he definitely takes you down, and he has, like, in his warehouse downstairs, he has, like, some mats where he obviously trains, and a small gym that he helps you work out some stuff there as well. So in those 2 days, the kids kind of move around him too. He gets flustered a couple of times with them when they're too attached to him. You can tell that he tries to keep his distance, but likes them. Like, he likes them, but he doesn't want to get too close to them. And he also makes sure to point out to all 5 of you that it's just temporary. It's just temporary until he figures out what to do with all 5 of you, a safe place for you guys to go, or something like that. It's at this point on day 2, though, that he gets a really, really serious call. You're not exactly sure what it is, but he's arguing with somebody on the phone. He's getting really upset, and you can hear him kind of in the kitchen with raised voices. We're going to say in this specific scene, I'm going to say lows for Phil, highs for Tex. All right, actually, Wiz, you're out riding on the chopper, so you're not around at this. Roswell, you are enjoying some TV time. Checking out prehistoric aliens and all that shit.
History Channel.
Yeah, all History Channel. When you hear him kind of arguing and fighting on the phone in the kitchen.
I have to say, too, when I'm watching the History Channel, I'll be like, that's a lie. That's bullshit.
They've been here since the 1940s.
Okay, so I hear him arguing on the phone.
Yeah.
Is he, I would probably get up and try to, like, I'm not stealthy or anything, just walk into the same room he's in and try to eavesdrop on a one-sided conversation.
You don't even need stealth. He's so into the conversation. You kind of get around the corner and you're just hearing one side of him. He goes, "God damn it, I told you I am retired. I'm retired. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that is in the dictionary? They've got apps on your phone. Look it up." "No, I know I owe you one, but this is not the time. I've got dependents."
I just out loud, I'm like, It's how the government works, always trying to pull you back in.
He actually turns around, covers the receiver, and goes, "Tell me about it." And then and then goes back to it, and he's like, "All right. What's the time frame?" That's insane. That's a cross-country trip. All right. And then he hangs up. And then you just see he's aggravated.
Who was that call from?
He goes, "Old handler of mine, still inside with the CIA."
What do those dirtbags want with you?
They're calling in a chit.
A what?
Oh, it's something we humans do. You give out a chit every so often. It's like an owe you one sort of thing. And I owe them one. I owe them a big one. So it's a job. It's a job they need done, and they can't have a contractor do it. Well, they can't have a government official do it. They need an independent contractor on it. And that's me.
Who you gotta take out?
No killing. I've got to move something. I got to pick it up in Pennsylvania, top secret, and I got to take it to Silicon Valley in California.
California. You're headed to the foot of the country.
Or the ass, depending on how you look at California. He's like, either way, I haven't found you guys a new home yet. Not a place to be safe from Braddock. And I'll be gone for at least a week.
Can we tag along? I mean, I'm kind of itching to get out of this dirty place. I think I'd rather be cooped up in the back of that truck.
Yeah, you can. I think I'm going to have to take all of you. I can't leave the girls here by themselves.
Well, of course not. Goddess has got to be kept safe.
Yes, the goddess has to be kept safe. All right. Well, we'll talk to everybody. Tex, you get back, and he basically is waiting for you downstairs in the warehouse. He's got the girls there. They've bought in some clothes since they're here. Like, he's taking them out to buy them some clothes and some, like, simple accoutrement. Nothing extravagant, but they had that packed when you pull in the chopper. He turns to you and he goes, "Look, this is not ideal, and I'm sorry that all 5 of you are with me right now, but I have to do a job, and I don't have a secure place to put the 5 of you while I'm gone, so I'm gonna have to take you all with me."
Where are we headed?
We're headed to Silicon Valley. Well, first we're headed to Pennsylvania. I need to pick up the package, and then I need to move that package from there to Silicon Valley.
I look over to the girls and I say, my whole life I lived in a swamp. I almost died in that swamp more times than I'd care to think about. And now we're here. There's so much more than just a swamp out there. I think it's about time this cowboy does some roaming. What do y'all think, little ladies?
They're all really excited. Give me a mental affinity check. Both of you can actually give me this. Wait a second. This is one of the scores. So there are a couple of percentage scores attributed to, mental affinity is one. Do either one of you have more than a 16 mental affinity?
No, I only have a 12.
That's the ME, right?
Yeah,
MA.
no, that's MA.
I got an 11.
Okay, good. Because, so MA and mental affinity and physical beauty both actually have percentages for doing skill checks based on them.
Okay.
which is interesting. Like I found that finally. However, so the way I'm going to do it is those percentages would be the base that you use because they're higher than your stat, and then you'd add that to control, basically. But we're going to say that the control is real high right now at a 50. So go ahead and roll me 50 plus your mental affinity, both of you.
Yeah, I got a 16. Or no, wait, that was a 19.
13.
Both of you have noticed an attachment from the girls to Bert. Like he's bought them stuff, and whether he's tried to keep you all at arm's length, they seem a little bit more attached to Bert than probably is healthy given the situation. Because both of you are smart enough to realize that this is not going to be your home. The three of them, while they've been through a lot, and they feel much more emotionally intelligent, they aren't. They're still a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old who really just want somebody to protect them. And they're starting to get way too attached to Bert. Just pointing this out, you both notice this. They are overly excited to go on a dangerous mission with him. Something that they don't do. They're very like scared of stuff usually. They like to take it cautious, especially Stella. But Stella's kind of all like, yeah, we got to help Bert out.
Damn.
Gonna get the feels in here.
I'd probably just keep that to myself and keep watching at the moment. See if I can't look for an opportunity to talk to Bert about this.
Okay.
I would
All right.
I would probably look at Tex and kind of say to him like, I think this means we're gonna have to keep him safe too, or else the girls ain't gonna be doing too good.
Yep, that's what it looks like. Makes me a little worrisome about all this traveling we'll be doing and him having such a dangerous lifestyle. Those youngins are getting in. They've seen too much, and I think I don't know. We're gonna need to keep an eye on this situation.
We'll definitely have to work together.
Well, that's about the size of it, partner. And I hold out my hand to shake your hand.
I put out a finger.
Even though it's just his finger and your whole hand, they still do it like it's that handshake from Predator, where it's like. All right. He actually looks at you, Tex, and hands you a pair of keys.
What's this here for?
He goes, look, we don't have a ton of room in there, and you like that bike, but you've used that bike more in the last 2 days than I ever have. You want to keep it? You could take it with us. Ride Scout.
I look at the bike, I look at him, and this is quite an honor to be given the privilege to ride this stallion across this great land. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so at that point, you guys pack in to the truck. He basically throws out that you're going to be driving relatively like through as much as possible. He informs you, Tex, that if you need a break, it's no problem. Motorcycle wise, the load they're picking up is not incredibly big, even though he needs a trailer for it. You'll be able to put the bike in the back trailer. There'll be enough room for you to put it back there and secure it when you're not driving it. but he's going to be trying to drive as much as he possibly can to get through stuff because they need to move, basically.
I would, at one point while we're packing up and getting ready, talk to him about ammunition.
He's like, what's a cowboy without his bullets, right? Okay, how much you got, man, outside of game?
Let's see, I have, counting up, like in my storage, a total of, I'm like down to 9.
Okay. He's gonna get you back up to 20. Actually, we'll go 24, so you got an even 6.
He's
like 357 is not a grain that I usually use, but I am happy. But I've got a couple laying around here, and he scrounges them up for you, gives them to you.
Cool. So I'm gonna put 19 in inventory and 6 in the. Actually, I already had so a couple in the revolver. So that's actually 22. Cool. Awesome.
All right. So at this point, anything else you guys want to do before you leave?
I think I'm ready to skedaddle.
Okay. So you guys head out. He gets the truck. He heads out. Let me make sure I do this right. Standard controls. You head out on your chopper behind it, like fucking Lorenzo Lamas in The Renegade. A dated reference for a dated game, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys head out on Pennsylvania. As you guys are about to leave, he just kind of looks at you guys and goes, "No smoking, and clean up your own messes in the truck. If you have to make a stop, announce it loud and clear. I ain't no mind reader. And most of all, I have the last word. It's my truck." And then he honks the horn twice, and he pulls out of his garage as you guys head down. So you pull out through New Jersey, where the drivers are driving pretty fast. They use a lot of horn and turn signals. Then you kind of move through that. And it takes you a few hours. You pass the Delaware River. Nothing happens entertaining in this amount of time. But if there's any communication you guys want to do it now.
I think we're just trying to get the hell out. Man, I'm just trying to get out of here and get on the road.
Well, you're on the motorcycle. Roswell, do you want to talk to him at all about anything?
I would basically ask, like, so obviously we're gonna know here shortly. What exactly is it that we're picking up?
He kind of scowls and almost continues the joke with you. You know I can't tell you, right?
Well, the way I see it, everyone in here is going to be privy to that information as soon as we get to our destination, correct?
Actually, I'm not supposed to have any of you along for the ride, so I am hoping very much that before we get there, I'm just going to let Tex know to pull off and wait, and I'm going to have you guys hide in the camper, if you don't mind. This is a one-man person. I'm not even supposed to have you guys here.
I understand that, but I mean, what are we... Is it explosives? Because those seem pretty cool. I've been seeing those on TV. I'm interested in those.
He laughs. You would be. No, it's not explosives. It is very dangerous, though. Like I said, I can't talk about it. There's one thing you learn when you did the job as long as I did the job, and that is, no matter how much you trust anybody, don't talk about it. Because if you get captured or somebody takes you and you don't know anything, then nothing gets compromised.
Ain't nobody getting nothing out of me.
Whoa, big fella. Didn't mean to insult you. It's just how I work. Until you absolutely need to know, the information stays secret.
Have it your way. Roll on, 18-wheeler.
Alright, so you guys get to Pennsylvania. At one point, he kind of picks up a trailer. Then Tex, he's going to stop somewhere. He's actually going to hand you, like, a Bluetooth. Like, he teaches you how to use it because, you know, you've never seen one before. But just like a hands-free headset that he could talk to you on, basically. He's like, this way we could stay in communication even though I'm in the cab of the truck at all times. Sound good?
The marvels of the modern world. Sounds just fine.
He tells you what I'm
How far ahead are you gonna be?
We're gonna go about 4 miles into this government installation. Well, we're gonna go 4 miles ahead. I don't want you to get any closer, so I'm gonna need you to find a place and hold up for about, I want to say, like, actually, how long does it take? They actually say how long it takes. It'll only take about 40 minutes. So I need you to just hang tight for about 40 minutes because you guys aren't supposed to be in there at all. I'm going to let everybody else hide in the camper. They won't check the truck, but they're not going to be happy if I brought along guests.
Are you sure it's safe for the little ladies?
Yeah, it's safe. Even if they get caught, they won't get hurt or anything like that. I'd rather make everything simpler.
All right, then.
Stella, like, if Stella's there for the conversation, she straight up says, like, it's all right. We're going to be fine. In her exuberance.
You're going to be just fine. I know. Just looking out for you. Like I do.
All right. So, at this point, so where do you hold off?
Me?
Yeah.
I guess, like, I'll be looking for, if he's telling me to basically just stop someplace off to,
Yeah, just hang out somewhere out of sight.
Is there anything around? What's around that area?
Let's see here. It's just an industrial complex, like off in the distance. So there's a lot of there's a lot of industrial parkways around here, just like other factories that would be sitting out.
Okay, so it's pretty barren out that way.
Yeah, like it's nothing. Like it'd be easy to hide somewhere, or not even hide, but just be off the road and nobody's gonna be bothering you. Like it's not a place people drive often.
Yeah.
Other than truckers. Like, this is just like a trucker road, basically.
Okay. Then I tried to find a dark alley sort of between some of these industrial buildings.
Okay. All right.
And hold up tight there.
All right. So, Roswell, he asks you to get in the camper, shuts the curtain, so all of you guys are back there. And then he pulls in to the fence. So you hear him kind of get out of the truck and start to say some things to some people. Do you do anything in the 40 minutes of loading?
I'd just be trying to eavesdrop. I'm not going to disobey him, but I'll stay in there. But I'm telling the girls, see if we can hear anything.
All right, I'm going to drop you down to a control 30 and give me an IQ check based off that.
I rolled a 42. My IQ.
Should be enough.
Yeah, I got it by one actually.
Okay, so, they never really speak about what they're putting on it, you're able to eavesdrop enough for them to kind of like, it's a very serious conversation, and the guy who's telling him, who is obviously talking to Bert, kind of is very, very specifically going over. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. Is very specifically going over what not to do with this package. He's like, you cannot have this broken or destroyed. If you do, it has to be broken or destroyed with fire. You seriously, this crate has to make it in one piece. It has to be there, like just going over it. He goes, you cannot mess with any of this. You cannot mess with this. To the point where like he's kind of spelling it out in a very dangerous, like, don't fuck with this shit sort of way. That's really the best information you can glean from it, because he never says specifically what it is. He's well trained in that area. And then once that whole conversation is done, it takes about 40 minutes for them to load the truck. You guys are managed to be quiet until then. Bert gets in, hops in, starts the car, and starts driving again. And after like 4 or 5 minutes, he just kind of like hits the sheet open with one hand and goes, "All right, coast is clear." And then he radios Tex and says, "Coast is clear, boss."
All right, you go out and meet him.
Okay. All right, so I want to make sure I do the next part right. All right. So at that point, he actually takes you guys all to a diner, like a couple of ways up. He stops, a truck stop across from the Susquehanna River, and he goes, "This is the best damn eggs this side of Oklahoma. It's best to start a trip on a full stomach." Then he goes in. It's still like just early morning. You guys are like looking at like 4:35ish right now. So he orders some eggs, gets some food, and you guys are able to, like, the waitress doesn't even notice you guys. Like, he finds a back booth. You guys all sit down, big coats, big hats on, and she's just tired and does not give a shit. So you guys are all able to order, which is kind of a new experience for both of you to actually get food. Like, you guys are both very nervous at first, and then when you realize just how okay humans seem to be with weirdness nowadays, it's a little bit comforting for both of you. So yeah, you guys eat, you have some food, and then anything else you guys want to do before you get back on the truck?
This would break my mind that there's another human that is a goddess as well.
Oh no. Who must I follow now?
I'd be like, "Do you supply all of these, Lila?"
She goes, "What? No." She's about to say no, and Stella like nudges her, and she goes, "Yes."
You are truly something to behold.
All right. At this point, you guys eat. You head back out to the truck, and a little while later, you guys kind of head out onto the road, onto the highway. You notice that the traffic ahead starts to slow down. The vehicles in front of them. Bert. Wait. No, I screwed that up. Sorry. Oh, I hate running this. I'm just going to do this way. All right, you guys get in the truck. You head out onto the highway. You start to head away from the highway, and you guys start to hear some like reports of like a parade that's in the area and stuff like that. Tex, are you on the motorcycle or in the truck right now after eating?
I'd be on the motorcycle probably. I talked to Bert, but I would think I'd be trying to kind of run point, go on a little bit ahead.
Okay. All right. So you guys are starting to kind of like pull up onto the highway. You're starting to move. You're getting you're doing good. When at this point you guys start to notice that traffic starts to slow down a little bit, but it's not actual traffic. It looks to be like Shriner cars, like little mini cars, like little mini Shriner cars, with the fezzes and everything on it. They're slowly starting to kind of slow down, which is kind of forcing Bert to slow down a little bit. Wizard, give me intelligence check, but we're dropping the control to 20.
Right. All right. The control's down to 20, and I got an 89.
Okay. The Shriners are really obnoxious. There's 4 Shriner cars just kind of like covering every lane to the point where they're really small, but if you were to try and go around with them, you'd hit one of them. And you can see that kind of like the traffic in front of them has been allowed to move much faster, and there's not a lot of traffic behind you guys. At this point, Bert just kind of looks at him and goes, geez, these guys are giving Shriners a bad name. What are they doing on the highway? And he starts to kind of like honk his horn for a second. Roswell, you give me a intelligence check with control 20.
Well, I'm really rolling low. I rolled a 19, so I'm under.
Wow. Roswell, you notice that the Shriners are actually ninjas. They are full head-to-toe ninja outfits. They're just wearing fezzes and then leopard print Shriner coats on. For everybody out there, and you guys, if you want to see this in the future, this is kind of what they look like right there. So they're just, you notice they're fucking ninjas. But you're confused because you're like, do humans dress like this normally and drive around in little cars? Like, it doesn't look like an assault of any sort of manner at this point. Tex, you are going to notice that 2 Shriner cars start to pull up. Now that the truck has slowed down, they start to pull up from behind the truck on your side.
Okay, so they're coming up behind me.
Yeah.
This is definitely, I mean, at this point, there's no way this doesn't look like weird and suspicious, right?
It definitely looks weird and suspicious, but you're not quite sure what to do with it.
How many lanes? We're on the highway?
Yeah, you're on the highway. 4 lanes.
Do I got anything to my left and right? I mean, the truck's on my left. What's on my right?
What? So okay, so you would be. So there's the inside berm, okay. There's a lane. There's you. There's Shriner, truck, Shriner, and then the other side berm, basically.
Okay. So there's a Shriner between me and the truck.
Yeah, they're coming up between you and the truck. They're not quite between you and the truck, but that's where they're trying to go to.
Okay, so they're not like directly behind me.
No.
I would then slow down and see if I couldn't haul in behind them without getting any notice.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Give me a motorcycle check, and then the next thing happens. So at this point, things are starting to get a little awkward. Bert has noticed the Shriner cars. He goes, I think something's going on. I think there's something going on. And he's kind of stuck in a position where he can't swerve. In front of him, in front of the Shriner cars even, you guys all of a sudden see a 1965 pink Cadillac convertible kind of pull out from an entrance ramp and out in front of the Shriner cars. There's 2 ninjas sitting on the back, kind of just like sitting on the back trunk, both still wearing fezzes and the coats. And then you see a guy driving. You can't see who the guy is. But all of a sudden, this girl just stands up. She is probably 30s, somewhere around there. You see striking blonde hair, which is weird because she's definitely of Middle Eastern descent. Like, she is like the kind of like, you know what I mean? That kind of skin tone, which is striking against the like almost Barbie-esque blonde hair down her back. She's also wearing incredibly like stylistic pink, like she's got a pink coat on, she's got pink skirt on, and she just stands up. At that point, Bert's eyes go wide, Phil. You see him and he goes, shit! That's goddamn Barbie! At that point, she blows a kiss, and as she blows a kiss, an overpass sign goes above the pink Cadillac towards you guys. When this happens, the two ninjas sitting on the back pull up grappling hooks. They fire the grappling hooks into the sign. As the sign goes above you guys, they use the grappling hooks to pull up over the front of you guys' car and onto the trailer, kind of rolling onto the trailer. Clunk, 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 clunk. You hear it above you. Bert's like, son of a bitch. We're in it now, boys. And like he shifts and just starts to try and pull through the Shriner cars now.
Looks like somebody knows you're hauling something special.
He's like, indeed. He's like, yeah, we don't have time to talk about it, but she's a heavy hitter. We gotta go. We gotta get out of this situation. And I don't know what to do about those guys on top.
That would probably be about the time you hear a gunshot.
Yeah, what was your motorcycle roll there, man?
What's it?
What was your motorcycle roll?
I well under half.
Okay.
Like I got a 33. Actually, it was 33 on the 60.
You're able to get behind them without being seen, without a doubt. Like they don't notice you. You're just a guy who's on a motorcycle who's caught in the wrong place at the wrong time in the situation. They haven't put 2 to 2 together with you, so you're able to get behind the truck and them. But before your gunshot, I want to find out what Roswell's going to do.
I would probably be definitely contemplating crawling onto the roof of the semi out the window.
Fuck yeah, because it's cool. It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
All right. You start to do that, and Bert just goes, be careful. Be careful. I'll try and keep it steady.
Keep the girls safe.
It's like, all right. Okay, so...
I'll be back, goddess.
All right. Control is at a 20. You've got to climb to the top. Give me a physical prowess with your control of 20.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Nah.
Oh, no. It's starting early. It's starting early. Okay. All right. Shit. Okay. I want to give you a second chance.
Maybe he's just struggling to get up.
Give me another physical prowess check. We're going to move your control to a 30 for now, for just this roll.
A 30, you said?
Yeah. Well, the control's a 30. Add your physical prowess.
I got it.
Okay, so you climb out the window and start to climb up and realize the issues with trying to climb with both of your hands full of knife blades. Like you pull out the knife blades first, and that's your bonehead play here. And you try and climb up by with them in your fist, and then you're like, whoops! And you start to fall, and you manage to, with one of your teeth, kind of catch the right smokestack off of the back end of the cab, and you hear the clank as the teeth digs in. It manages to support you, but it swings you all the way around, and you end up slamming into the back end of the trailer. You manage to maintain your grip, but you're going to take a d6 of damage. One point of STC damage. Good, lucky you.
All right.
And you're not going to be able to climb up this round because you've got to reset yourself. Wizard, your turn.
All right. Yeah, I'm behind them. They don't know I'm there. When I see the ninjas jump up there, I know something's wrong. That's pretty ridiculous. We're not under it. We're under attack. So I pull out my gun, and I'm just gonna try and take down one of the ninjas up top.
On the top? Okay. He doesn't see you coming. So go ahead and, just roll a d20 and don't roll under a 5.
Rolled a 5.
Oh, I don't know if that. Hold on a second. I didn't expect you to roll a fucking 5 on the dot.
Now I don't add my.
I'm not gonna let you add aim because you're driving the motorcycle. Like you can't use that second hand to drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. It's above a 4, hits the opponent, so you are safe. By 1 point, you are safe. All right, roll your damage. Let me get out.
Um, 12 damage.
12 damage. Hold on, I gotta find a typical ninja henchman because for whatever reason they decided to put all that shit in the back. All right. 12 damage. Okay. So you raise up the gun. Boom! You don't get the good aim. You manage to catch the guy, like, kind of in the upper shoulder, like, graze him. You see a lot of blood come forth, and he kind of rolls forward, but he does not, he definitely doesn't die or go down. And all the ninjas now know you're there. That's for certain.
Can I take my second attack since I didn't do aim?
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, I'm gonna aim for the same guy then. Oh. And that's an 18.
Ooh, nice. All right, he gets to attempt to dodge on this one. +3 to dodge. Holy shit, he dodges you. He rolls a 19 total. You rolled an 18 total, right?
18 total, yeah.
Yeah, he beat you. All right, so he took that first bullet and he rolled forward. So, like, the angle of the second shot, you just can't get past that trailer to hit him. So, boom! Boom! Second shot misses. He kind of rolls forward. At this point, the mini cars, one of the ninja henchmen, like all of the ninja henchmen are aware of you, but one of the mini cars, like, drops back to deal with you. I guess it would still be him, right? Yep. Actually, no. This isn't even going to be an attack roll because he's literally trying to drop back and hit you with his mini car. So it's going to be his driving skill versus yours.
All right. So I'm rolling under, or is it straight D20?
You're rolling under on your motorcycle skill, and you're trying to roll under more than he rolls under his automobile skill.
Okay. That was a 37.
37 under, or?
37 was my roll. Under, I guess, I got a 60 for my motorcycle. So that would be, what? 20.
He got 40 under, so he definitely hits you.
Yeah.
He drops back and slams into you. The downside of this is his mini car is not as sturdy as your motorcycle. Like, they're just little, like, fucking go-karts. So immediately the wheel kind of comes off, and you just see him like, and kind of twist and like end up in a beam. However, I'm gonna need you to give me a motorcycle check to stay on that fucking thing, and you're gonna take a negative 20 because he hit you.
Okay.
To your skill.
Okay, that's looking good. But it was negative 20 to my skill. So negative 20, that's gonna be a 40. Okay, I still made it. I got a 16.
Okay, sweet. So you swerve back and forth with the chopper. You actually almost kind of fall off, and you lose a little ground on them. But you don't fall off, and you manage to like stay in it. I will say that one of your attacks will have to be spent to catch up. Like you're in range of your gun, but just given the situation, you'll need to be a little bit closer to take a really good shot at anything. So you'll have to use an action to kind of catch up, basically.
Okay.
All right. At this point, we come back to Phil. You guys also all hear over the radio. You hear this kind of weird voice. It's a girl, and you can tell that there's a Middle Eastern accent to it, but she's also talking with kind of like a twang. Almost like a Middle Eastern woman was doing an impersonation of a Southern woman. Like, that's kind of the feel you get. And I'm not going to be able to articulate that on a good day, let alone with the Tom Waits voice going on that I got right now. So basically just say, hey, Big Daddy, long time no see. Well, I guess never no see, right?
Big Daddy.
I'm going to need what you got in there. I'm going to need it bad. Why don't you just uncouple and drop and nobody gets hurt? And then you just see Bert kind of move over, and he turns off his CB. All right, Roswell. Roswell, you didn't hear that. Tex did because he's also on the radio. Roswell doesn't hear it because he's hanging on for dear life on the top of the truck. What do you do?
I'd be trying to pull myself up.
Okay. All right. You managed to pull yourself up. I'm not going to make you do another check for that. We've already been down that road. You managed to get yourself on top of the cab. There's like a 3-foot gap between the cab and the trailer itself that you could easily jump without a roll. And you can see the ninjas kind of halfway down the trailer. One of them, they're both kind of like hiding. You can tell that Tex has taken a couple of shots. But they want to get into the back, so they're kind of waiting till Tex isn't there anymore so that they can make that move. They're aware of you, though, but like you're not going to get the drop on them, but that's what they're doing.
Okay.
So real quick, with the control, give me an intelligence control check.
What is the control now?
30 right now.
No.
Okay, all right, that's what you notice.
All right. I'm going to. I would go to attack the closest one to me.
Okay, all right. I am going to say it's going to take one action to go all the way down the trailer to get to them, but other than that, you're good to go. Especially since once they see you charging down the trailer, one of them will kind of stand up, turn. He pulls out a... what weapons do they have? They have... Kasurigama. Wow. Okay. Kasurigama. Do you know what a Kasurigama is, Phil?
No.
Okay, it's a sickle. It's like a little handheld sickle, and then it's got a chain coming off the butt end. That's weighted at the end. So one of them turns around and just starts to spin the chain and charges you as you charge him.
My roll to hit is a 16.
Okay. How many attacks do they 16, he's going to try and dodge that first one. He manages to dodge it with a 17. So you come in with the blade. He actually brings up the sickle, catches your blade, and expertly kind of like moves it to the side as the wind's rushing past you. Next attack.
11 to hit.
That one will actually hit, surprisingly enough. So roll your damage. So he blocked. He's sidestepped that with the 1. You kind of come around with a turning spin with the other hand.
That'll be 8 damage total.
You kind of catch a gash across his chest. He staggers slightly. I'm going to really quickly make a control check for him. What's his PP? It's 17, 30, so it's 47. Alright, he is safe. You see him take 2 steps back. 1 foot almost goes off the back end, and then he kind of stops. He does kind of like this, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then he like moves forward back towards you with the gamma. Coming at you high. He only has 1 attack left since he used 2 to attempt. No, wait. He gets parries. I'm sorry. Forgot. You're not ranged attack. So he's got 3. He's got his full 3 attacks to attack you. So he comes in with the. He just comes in. First.
I got 1 more.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
4 total, 1 to close.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, as he steps back, I'm gonna try to come like low to high and up stab.
Nice.
13, 15 to hit.
Well, no, they get the parries. That's such a hard rule to get used to, is that the dodge takes an action, but the parry doesn't. All right, so he only gets a 7. Plus his 3 is a 10, so you definitely hit him. Roll damage.
Yeah, 3 damage.
All right, 3 damage, but that's all it takes. Because you come in with the upswing, you hit him across the chest as he's like balancing over the edge. Just there's like kind of like a spray of blood as he goes ass over head backwards off the truck. Just, boom, he hits the ground, rolls like 3 times, the Kasuri Gamma flipping in the air, kind of wrapping around him, and then, he stops moving. Really quickly, though, Wizard, I want you to give me a physical prowess check. No, a motorcycle skill check.
Motorcycle.
As out of nowhere, as you're speeding up, this ninja just comes flying from the sky at you.
Ooh, I hit my motorcycle skill exactly. I got 60.
Really? Okay, you're safe then. You just barely. Like, it hits the ground, he starts to roll, you manage to pull to the side just slightly, just barely swimming by him. And at that point, we see... At that point, you see one of the ninja at the front end, Bert, like, downshift. He's speeding up a little bit. He ends up slamming into one of the Shriner cars, but the guy actually jumps off, lands on the front grill. The other guy gets pulled under the big wheel and ceases to exist. But the guy on the front grill steps up, and you see him. He's got, like basically a ball. He hurls it at the windshield, and you just see some paint splash up on the windshield once the ball connects. Starting to restrict Bert's vision. At this point, Tex is speeding back up. We've got the duel on the truck. I am so sorry, but it is 11:36, and my voice is absolutely at its end. So we're going to leave this in a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to see how this battle resolves next time on the Stump Gang. Hope the long road is what I'm calling it. So... hopefully that's okay with you guys. I'm sorry. There's no way we're resolving this battle anytime soon, and my voice is just shot.
Yeah, no, it's better to have a battle when you're all ready for it instead of falling down. And I'll be honest, I'm running a little bit on empty myself.
Yeah.
So you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
I fucking love this game. I love this game.
Yeah.
I love playing it with you guys. It's so much fun. And the fact that we're in another set piece is great. I love the truck. The roof truck battle is wonderful.
Dude, there's a lot for you to keep track of on this one.
Yeah.
All these cars and everything.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's all right, though. I could do it. It's no problem. It's a lot of fun. I think the control aspect really adds to it as well. It's a lot of fun. So, all right, everybody out there, that's it for this episode. We're definitely going to do this again. We're trying to get one a month in at least. So you're going to have to come back next time to find out if they manage to keep the Blue Ox from being hijacked or not. And by they, in no particular order, Philbilly330, anything you want to plug, man?
Just hope you guys are enjoying this, and don't forget to check out, especially if you like this, got the same crew plus Brian playing Astral Drive, so that'll be, next episode will be next Wednesday. So don't forget to check that out. But other than that, not too much.
Wizard, your turn, buddy.
Yeah, so this is, I'd say check out the Wizard's Respite. That's the website that I run. All of these are going to be on there as well, and you can see the back catalog when Zach and I very first started playing this game, and all the way up to now, so you can get a little bit of the backstory out there.
Yeah. As far as me, yeah, definitely check out wizardsrespite.com. He's got a lot of stuff, and he also broadcasts all of this stuff on his website as well, so you can check all that out. You can check it out here at Old Man Gaming too, whatever suits your fancy. I do want to say, Getting Over, my personal wrestling simulator promoter journaling game. I demo it every Monday, 1 through 3. It's 1 to 3 on Monday, but please watch it in the back end. I know that's a weird time. It's a lot of fun for me. It's basically just me doing a wrestling show by myself. It's a lot of fun. And you can check that game out on drivethragames.com for $4. Only $4 to purchase. We also have single mod coming from my game company. I'm really excited about that, so please check that out. That'll be probably coming at some point in August. Not going to give a release date till we're absolutely there, but the game itself is done. We're just in the editing process. We will do this game again in probably about a month. We love this game. This has been a lot of fun. I think I speak for everybody when I say this is the no pressure fun game that we all do. So this is really cool. And then please check out Astral Drive next Friday, and then Wizards Respite Sanctorum a week from this Friday as well. Until then, you guys can reach us on Facebook at Old Man Gaming DH, on Twitter at Old Man Gaming 9. You can join our Discord. Links in the description below. Influence this and all of our shows from there. Please check out wizardsrespite.com if you like TTRPGs in any way, shape, or form. And then, of course, as long as you keep watching this, then we'll keep making them. We will see you guys next time.
Later.